and welcome to Dish. Today we're going to make a jambalaya pasta that's really quick and easy to throw together for a great dinner for your family. I've already got my pan heating up with some oil, and we're going to first add some chicken, which I've already diced and seasoned to get started cooking, and we're also going to add some andouille sausage. This will give it some great flavor. We're going to cook that up. The chicken has been seasoned with some cayenne pepper and cumin and chili powder. It's going to make some great spicy flavor with the seasonings already in the andouille sausage. And we're just going to let that brown up for a few minutes before we add the rest of our ingredients. So now you can see that our chicken has a nice golden color to it. The seasonings that we put in there, as well as browning in the pot, has caused it to turn a nice color for us, and our sausage is starting to brown. So now they've gotten it pretty much cooked through, we're going to add some flour to the pot and a little bit of thyme as well. Give us some good flavor and seasoning. And we're just going to let that coat everything that we have in our pan right now. It's going to help us make a nice thick sauce here in a minute. So we're just going to mix that in really well. And I'm also going to add a little bit of minced garlic here. Didn't want to do that earlier. I want to just kind of get a smidgen of that flavor going in here now. So we have it all coated nicely, and now we can add our chicken broth. And when we do that, we want to pick up, kind of scrape the bottom of the pan, so we pick up all that kind of brown, crusty goodness that's on the bottom, and let that really flavor our sauce and get mixed in with our chicken broth and coat everything really nicely. And we're just going to let that simmer for just a minute, kind of let it thicken up. You can already see it's starting to kind of become a little bit more like a gravy than a broth as that flour gets combined in there. So we have a good base of a sauce starting here. And so you can starting to come to a boil again, just to thicken that up for another minute. And then to kind of continue that process, we're going to turn our heat down from medium high to about a medium low. And we're going to add some half and half to really give it a creamy thickness. I like to add it a little bit at a time, kind of, so I can get it incorporated well with all the other flavors we have going on. And for just a nice extra touch, we're going to add a few dashes of Worcestershire sauce, which I think just really makes this dish. It's kind of a surprising flavor twist, but it really gives it some character. And stir that really well. You see our sauce getting thicker. And we're going to let that simmer for just a couple of minutes and add a little bit of parmesan reggiano cheese. I'm going to save part of that to top this with after we mix it with our pasta here in a minute. Now, I earlier had gotten our pasta all cooked and ready to go, so we'll just be able to add it to our sauce here in a minute. Wow, it smells so good. Goodness. Be ready to eat dinner now. And this is just, it's great even for kids. It has a lot of flavor, but it's not too spicy. And if you like it less spicy, you could always cut down the cayenne pepper a little bit or the chili powder. And now that our sauce is good and thick, I'm just going to go ahead and pour our pasta in here. Now, I've used some masticcioli noodles, but any kind of wavy pasta or ziti or masticcioli or penne noodles maybe, all of those can work really well with this as well. So we're just going to kind of turn everything over, try to get our noodles good and coated. and before we're ready to pour it into our baking dish. Now you can serve this right out of the pan. You can just let it thicken, let it sit here for a couple minutes and dish it up just like this, or I'm going to actually put it in a baking dish and heat it up a little bit later for our dinner. So now I can just take this and plop it right into my baking dish. Or as I said, you could serve it right out of the skillet. We're just going to pour all this goodness in here and top that off with a little bit of Parmesan, and we are going to be set to go with a beautiful dish that will delight your entire family. Has a great Cajun flavor to it. Thanks for joining us today. We hope you enjoy your dinner.